Okay, so let's get serious for a moment. In this session, I would like to discuss character, paragraph, and object styles. And these are incredibly important. We're going to spend a lot of time on them in that advanced chapter 2 and 3, and they make life a lot simpler. Imagine for a moment you're doing a whole layout of a book, and that book has chapter headings. And this book is 400 pages long. And each chapter heading has a specific style. Let's say, for instance, you made it like an impact font like we did here and this specific size. Now you take this final product to the client and they say to you, we don't like the way you did the style of the headers. Imagine you had 50 headers throughout the document. Now you have to manually go back to each of those headers and change what they look like. So, in InDesign, we have something called character, paragraph, and object styles. If we created a character style for all those headings in the book, and they say to us, change the font, instead of going to each occurrence of or of a heading, we would go and create one style code, if you want to think about it like that. And we apply that code to all the headings wherever we have them. And if they ask for a change, we simply go to that rule and we change it in the rule, and in all 50 occurrences, it changes automatically. That's the power of character, paragraph, and object styles. Now I want to jump to a different document that I quickly drew up here and show you how they work. Over the top, we have 4 headings. Imagine them to be headings for different parts of our publication or book. And we're going to set up the look for how we want them to look. And we'll use the impact font again. And we'll say it's 50 point size. And we want them to be red. Sorry, full color red. Now, as we go through our document, we want to apply the exact same styling to the other headings. And this is what we do. We go to Window, Styles, and there you see all of them. Character, paragraph, and object styles. I'm going to start with character styles because character styles has to do with how the element or the text looks. And from this menu, we go to the little menu on the side and we click on New Character Style. And it picks up. Sorry, I should have selected this text. We need to select the text because we want to record that style. And we click on New Character Style. You've got it goes. It picks up all the settings, the color, the size, the font of that one element. And we can give it a name. We can say My Headings. Now, important to remember here is there's this little tick box, Apply Style to Selection. At the moment, we're just using that element to pick up the style, the formatting of it. So if we say apply style to selection when it creates this rule, then that element is also linked to the style sheet. And there's lots of things that you can do in character style. Look at all of these. The color, the underline options, strike through, all of these settings can be recorded with the character style. Now, I'm going to click OK and it creates that rule. This is my new rule under the character style panel. Now with the other headings, all I do is I select them and click. And it applies the same style to those elements. Now, like we said, the client comes back to you and says, well, I don't like the font or the color. What do? You simply go back to that character style, double click on it, and you make your changes. So we can choose a different font. I'm going to choose Century Gothic, and maybe the color needs to change to blue. And okay, and look what happens to all 4 of them. Voila. They're all updated automatically. So can you imagine the power behind this? It can just save you so much time. And we normally, when we create a publication or a layout, we create these style sheets beforehand. That we would say, this is what the headings would look like. So we create those styles so that as we create the content, we apply those styles wherever they need it. normally spend the whole day, for big publications, just thinking and strategizing around your character, paragraph, and object styles. Now, paragraph styles work similar, except it records all the settings related to paragraphs. So things like the text being justified, all the settings here under my paragraph controls, things like the indent on the first line. Sorry, that's too much. There's one slight indent there. Or if you take the indent out, how about a drop cap of 3 lines over there? So those things can all be recorded in the paragraph. And just like when we selected that element to create the character style, in this case, we select the paragraph on which we want to record the settings. We go to the paragraph style panel. If you can't find it, it's under Windows Styles, Paragraph Styles. We click on the menu and click New Paragraph Style. And look how it picked up all of the settings on that paragraph. We call this My Paragraph Style. You can call that anything you want to. And then, of course, we need to remember to click on Apply Style to Selection. Now look how many more things paragraph styles can report. There's so many settings applicable to paragraph styles. And of course, in our advanced chapters, we are going to dive further into these. They get quite complicated, but very useful. So we're going to click OK, and we have that new paragraph style then. Now I can select all the paragraphs I want to apply that to, and simply click on it. And voila. See again how you can have different paragraph styles for different ways that your text is supposed to be displayed. And as you've already probably assumed now, if we have an object, and maybe we give that object a special stroke, a thicker stroke, I'll discuss that with how to do that a little bit later, and we give it an effect, like a drop shadow. That all has to do with the look of the object. Now, object styles can record, just like paragraph and character styles, all of those settings. So if we go to styles and we click on object styles, we do the same. We click on new object style. We can give it a name here. My object style. And remember this apply style to selection option. And now we click OK. And we can do multiple selects. We can select all of these objects together and just click that object style. And voila, that will change. Now imagine they say, well, actually we want these objects to be red. No problem. We go back into the object style and we go and change the full color, like blue, and all of them turn blue. Same with our paragraph style. If we want to take the drop cap out, go into our paragraph style, we go to the drop cap, we make it 1 character. Now look how all of them will just update. Voila.
Right.
So very important that you understand this. We will spend a lot more time on this in chapter 2. And I'm going to show you some super tricks, some magic tricks you can do with them. But as long as you understand them for now, that's good. Okay, so I will see you soon in our chapter all about preparing your final documents for print. See you soon.